My name is Colton Neidhardt, and I am the director of Dead Man's Cell Phone. Directing the show has been a fantastic opportunity for me to have as an undergraduate student. A lot of people really don't get the opportunity to do something like this, but it's been the culmination of a lot of hard work, and being able to take on a full-length production has been really exciting. One of the challenges I've came across with this show has also been kind of one of the blessings of it, in the sense that I get to work with all of my peers and people that I'm very close with, and that's not always a situation that a director is faced with, but I value that, but it has been a challenge in some regards, but it's been good. I really think that seeing the way that everybody's came together to work on this show, and everybody has met deadlines like true champions. The professionalism has been outstanding, and it's been really exciting, and it's taken some of the weight off of myself, and in the sense of having to deal with some problems that may or may not arise, but people have been very professional and really worked hard. When we make a decision about what college we go to, we really focus too much on the size of the university or what they're able to provide for us and this and that, and I haven't once regretted my decision to come to Chadron State, and especially the theater department in particular. We may be small, but we do high quality work, and I have had the opportunity to do things that I never would have gotten to even get my fingers into, at other places. Now that I'm graduating in May, I'm starting to test some of the job markets, and I'm seeing that, we're really self-sufficient here, and I've been able to learn a lot of varied things. So it's been helpful, definitely. Come see it. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun, and it's a different kind of show. Social satire is a lot of fun. It points out the things in ourselves that we're afraid to admit sometimes, or the things that we're not even aware of that are funny or sometimes tragic. So it's definitely an analysis of our society. So
I'm John Thomas Bryan III, and I'm playing the part of Gordon, the dead man. And how am I approaching the role? I just go with my gut usually when it. We have our first reading, and I just kind of go with whatever comes, and then, if Colt or any director tells me to make a change, then, I'll do what they tell me. But for the most part, I just kind of go with the words and see what comes out, Well, it's definitely a bigger part, for sure. I had like 5 lines in Reckless, and in Dead Man's, I have a 4-page monologue. I guess that's the biggest thing is trying to, because when you're on stage for like 15 minutes and you're the only one talking, you got to keep the audience interest, and that's the biggest challenge I'm dealing with right now is making the monologue dynamic. I mean, I usually approached it the same way that I would any scene. I started just reading it over and over, and then we've worked it. Just you read it, and then you start to memorize it. Really, it actually came. The memorization part came pretty easily. I was surprised at how easily I was able to memorize the monologue. But it's more, now that we've got it memorized, it's about, being more specific. What do I want to do with what part? How am I going to keep it dynamic? Juxtapose different emotions or that sort of thing. Well, we definitely, I don't know about other colleges, I'm sure there are, but we definitely put our heart into it. We do everything. As far as, it's not just acting. We're in set every day, or, it depends on if you're working every day or not. But we do shop, we build the set, we're backstage doing we have our hands in everything. And so even the actors know the behind the scenes sort of thing that goes on backstage, and I think that's what's really interesting about this department. I'd studied theater in high school. I went to Denver School of the Arts, and we had a performing arts major, but we didn't do any of our own technical work. We had a tech major that went and did their tech work, and so that's what I love about this college, is that I'm able to just get my hands into everything. You can go work in the costume department and build costumes, or do the set, or run lights, or run sound, and as well as get on stage. And I've worked with Colt a lot. We pretty much started together in the theater department at CSC, and so I'm pretty used to it. He's always kind of had that directorial nature to him, and so it's easy to work with him because I'm used to it. I've worked with him a lot, so it's enjoyable.
My name is Shalee Jones. I play Hermia, who is Gordon's wife, the deceased man. And I've been approaching this role. It's kind of a different role than anything I've ever really played before. You know, I kind of dug a little deeper, you know, for this role because I had to think about what it would really be like to lose somebody that close to me. And know, in fact, that he has always been unfaithful to me. He's never always just been my husband, you know. And so it took a lot to just dig down and just fight those, figure out what those feelings would be. The anger and the sadness and needing somebody close to me to understand what I'm going through. So that's one thing that I had to do. And another thing is just kind of open up and be a little bit freer with myself, because I have a scene where I play that I'm drunk, and it's kind of different to think of it, you know, as a perspective of just pretending that you are, as opposed to really being drunk. So that was something that I really had to work on to get through this part. It's a comedy. It's a darker comedy, a lot of adult humor. And that's something a lot different that we've never really done before. Compared to musicals and just being like dancing and singing and all of that, it's just, you kind of got to get comfortable with yourself enough to be able to use that humor and make it feel a little bit natural, because not a lot of us talk like that all the time. So it's just something that we kind of had to, you know, get through all the crude humor and stuff like that. So at first I was a little nervous, not because it was just Colt, but you know, just because it was a student. But he's been great. He's expected us, you know, to know our lines at a certain date and time. You know, he hasn't really given us a lot of slack like some people would, because we're his friends, not his students. So that's been one thing that was a little different, but he's been really great. He knows what he wants, and so that's what he's been asking from us, and I think so far it's turned out really well. Everybody's really exceeding through this show. So I think that if any student was to come and watch us in every consecutive play that we do, they'll notice how much variety that we choose from. You know, musicals, serious, comedy, Shakespeare, all of that. And I think it's really important, if you're going to be a theater student, to be well-rounded in all the roles that you might be asked to play, whether it be contemporary or Greek tragedy or Shakespeare. And I think that they'll see all the courses that are offered through theater can help them through that, you know. So I just think it's a great experience to even just to come watch it, if you're not even a theater student, just to be a part of that, see what we're all about. So
my name is Nightingale, and I am playing the other woman / the stranger, and she is one of Gordon's mistresses. She's been left behind by him, and he didn't leave her anything in his will, and she's really upset. She's a very proper woman. She takes care of herself. She's very beautiful, and she takes revenge because of him just forgetting about her. And then also, I had to learn an accent, a Russian accent, and so that's been like one of the ways I've had to work at approaching her, is getting in tune with an accent. It's a comedy, and that's kind of a nice little part. And it's very different storyline. It's really weird. It's very out there, and I hope Chadron's ready for it, because it's gonna shock him. It's got some like I don't know, like an out-of-body experience in it, and it's just really cool. The difference is Delia was very stupid. She was very needy, and then she had to figure out how to become independent. And the other woman is she's very strong. She's very determined, and she knows how to be beautiful. She's very confident, and they're complete opposite people. A prospective student would see there is a fight scene in it, and we offer stage combat at Chadron State College, which is really fun. And then also, like the accent, we take a voice class so they can learn those type of things. And they should see that we just have a really good time, because like I said, this play's out there and it's a blast.